Details are in the description. Now, for this chapter, the opening chapter of the stage controller arc, which is part one, the first volume of the 11 Keys dark sci-fi series. This chapter is told from the perspective of Hardy. Blake Hardy is a programmer of uh, Central, and Central is basically the main group of a league of vigilantes, right? So they're pretty much they're pretty much the main ones behind space superheroes, to put it simply. And they're in a dire situation. Their ship is stranded, it's broken, it's falling deeper and deeper uh, in space. And if it continues, they're all gonna die, right? And while this is going on, before it got to the point where it is now, Hardy and the Central, they discovered two things floating in outer space, right? And Hardy tries to use those things. They are organic beings. He's trying to use them to help uh, slow their descent, to help solve the issue of the ship falling. And in this world, you can utilize cells from different organisms, right? And you can do that in order to help uh, power your ship. And if you can also use soft asteroids or moons or whatever, right? So Hardy tries that, and it fails repeatedly. And fast forward now to the point where there is a meeting taking place. Now, the members of Central are introduced in this chapter. There is, of course, Hardy Blake already. There's Tish Miner, who is pretty much she's short, she's fast talking, she's uh, kind of a troublemaker to a certain extent, but she is fun. She is one of the field operatives of the group. There's also Raymond. Raymond is, to put it simply, he's like a rival to Hardy Blake, and he's a field operative, but he is like the leader when they go into the field. And there is also Bridget. Bridget is an old lady who travels uh, uh, by way of a hover chair, and she is also the medic of the group. And then there is uh, Ricard, who is the leader of the group and the leader of the entire league as well. Um, so they're having a meeting to plan what they're gonna do next, right? And Ricard comes up with the idea of just, uh, to put it simply, his idea is to destroy the entire one of the bodies that they discovered. The last one that Hardy is trying is that of a female. She is about she seems to be a teenager, curvy, attractive, all of that, dark skin. But the Hardy didn't really figure out what species she was, because she seems to have traits from different types of animals. Like, there's amphibian traits, there's mammal trait, etc., etc. Right. So Ricard comes in and says, "Hey, let's just do this." Right. He comes up with a device, and instantly everyone knows what he is planning to do before he actually says it aloud. But Ricard's idea is to put it simply, break down, disintegrate, right? Break down the entirety of the the female entity, and then force feed that into the ship, uh, because that's their last option apparently. And it was at this moment, right, the female that Hardy was studying, she was in this gigantic glass tank with liquid circulating, and there was a timer to show if there was any movement. While the meeting was going on, Hardy noticed that the timer, it actually started detecting movement, started detecting heart rate and whatever, for a few seconds, right? And instantly, when he notices that, the female breaks out, right? And um, younger females in this world are called Vals, which just mean girl in the regular world, while boy is Kai, woman would be, I think, Takiri, and man would be Joel. So the Val, the girl, she breaks out and she is powerful. She hardly notices that she has the ability to change parts, not necessarily parts of her body, but she can somehow form weapons around her arms, etc. So she forms a cannon, blasts through it all. She hits Raymond. He suffers a really serious injury. Um, she pretty much causes the entire lab to damn near go up in smoke. And she lifts Ricard, and Ricard is huge. Ricard is well over 6 feet tall, and he's heavy, right? So she easily lifts Ricard by the throat, throw him away. Bridget, however, was the one that Hardy noticed Bridget getting up out of her chair, right? Something that he seemingly has never seen before. She walks and hugs the girl, and she calms her down. The girl is pretty much pissed off. She is wondering, she doesn't know where she is, and she's asking for someone by the name of Siesta. So Bridget is trying to calm her down and is asking who is Siesta. And the girl, that is when she notices where she is. She starts crying, and Bridget asks her her name, and she gives her name as Kimika Kubo. And that was how the first chapter of the Stage Controller series ended. Um, so yeah, that's my way of explaining the story that I wrote. Um, this is not scripted. It's something that I'm trying to uh, this has pretty much been my approach for my other channel as well. Um, Writing by itself takes a lot of time to do it properly, because you have to come up with a rough idea, then you have to write it out properly, then you have to reread, and there's multiple rereading and editing. And having gone through that with actual story writing and books, I didn't want to go through that same thing on YouTube as well, because then what's the point, right? Because the YouTube success is more like a marathon, and if I'm taking several days, several weeks to write one script for one video, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere really. But anyway, that is it. Tell me what you guys think about that chapter. I recommend just reading the story first. It's really not that expensive. The link is in the description below. Um, so you can check out the overview of it. But I recommend reading it to get the full enjoyment of the story. But be that as it may, let me know what you guys think. Catch you in the next one. Peace.